Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. It's very funny for me because every time I press the record button, my cat jumps and runs straight for the door. He obviously doesn't like podcasting. He does the same with Skype when I'm teaching people. Uh, as soon as I begin and he hears my voice, there's a very sudden meow, and he goes. It's strange, the habits of cats, isn't it? Oh, I had a terrible dream last night. I dreamt I was married to Meghan Markle. Oh, it was one of those weird dreams, the kind that have parts of your life all mixed into other weird situations. So basically, I was married to Meghan Markle and I was making bread, and she cooked it too long and it completely burned. And there was that awkward moment of silence when you know that the person's burned the bread. And I kind of looked at her and she looked at me, and then she did that really weird thing that she does, Meghan Markle kind of looks to the floor and pretends to be all sultry. I was really angry. It was one of those really strange dreams. Speaking of strange dreams, after I woke up, I was wondering if I did go to their house, Harry and Meghan, what would they cook for me? And I was dwelling on this subject for quite some time. What would they cook for me? I think there would only be pizza. I mean, I can't imagine her slaving in the kitchen to cook for a Skype English teacher. Probably it would be some kind of buffet. I mean, there would be potatoes, I guess, because she would know that I'm British and I like potatoes. So I'm guessing there would be roast potatoes of some kind. And I would also guess that maybe there would be pizza there, or there would be mayonnaise. There definitely would be mayonnaise, to put on the potatoes, probably with some kind of garlic and herb dressing, I would imagine. Yeah, but I can't imagine what else they would make for me. I mean, I don't think it would be chicken. They would be watching their weight because she's always very skinny, isn't she? So I would imagine that it'll be kind of some mixture of American style food and British food. She might do chicken. I can imagine there would be chicken, but it would be spicy. It would be one of these American recipes, I think. Yeah, and what would they give me for dessert? Oh, it would have to be New York cheesecake, I suppose. I mean, I don't mind New York cheesecake, but I'm just guessing that's what they would do. Um, I mean, I know they're busy, but they could at least microwave something. They could buy some kind of takeaway, and maybe they could at least microwave something. But I would imagine everything will be in typically American style, pre-prepared. I can't imagine them doing much else. I mean, she doesn't look like she's the kind of lady that would be cooking over a hot stove for guests. Although I'm sure they probably do have a cook or a chef that comes in. He would prepare something nice for me, but maybe that would be French, maybe. And that wouldn't be very authentic, because if you go to someone's house for dinner, it's nice when they make the effort, isn't it? You go to someone's house for dinner and you just appreciate the fact that they've been cooking for you. So if she's going to bring in a chef to cook for me, it's not really going to be the same, is it? It wouldn't quite be the same. I would rather they just microwave something simple than bring somebody in to cook for me. But if she was going to cook for me, I think it probably would be something with potatoes. Oh, and a heavy sauce. Oh, yeah, a really heavy mayonnaise. I can imagine that. Isn't it strange what we think about? Uh, anyway, moving on. I hope your weekend has been well, wherever you are in the world. Everything is fine here. I went to a Chinese buffet yesterday. Maybe that's why my mind is full of food. And I ate so much. You know, these Chinese buffets, they have absolutely everything. So by the end of it, I could hardly walk. In other news today, I heard that Tony Christie has dementia. That came as a shock. I love Tony Christie. For those of you who don't know who he is, he was a big singer here in the 1970s. I think probably the most famous song he had was the theme tune for, was it the Protectors or the Persuaders? It was the Protectors, 1960s detective series. Yeah, that must have been in 1968 or 1969. And the song that he recorded, which was the theme tune, was called Avenues and Alleyways. I'm sure you'll find it on YouTube, Avenues and Alleyways by Tony Christie. Oh, one of these really powerful kind of songs, you know, really powerful voice. I don't know why, but he had loads of songs with the name Maria in them. Is This the Way to Amarillo was a big hit for him, was a big song. And as I remember the words of that, Is this the way to Amarillo, sweet Marie who waits for me? And then he has another one, I did what I did for Maria. That's where he kills someone to take revenge for Maria being killed. He became very famous here during the 60s and 70s, but unfortunately his popularity began to wane by the time 1980 had came. He moved to Spain. I don't know exactly when he did that, but I remember he was there. And then here, I think about maybe 10, 15 years ago, somebody recorded one of his songs just as a laugh. It was Is This the Way to Amarillo, I think. And then because he recorded that song, people loved it. And the person who recorded that song began to talk about Tony Christie, the original singer, and it brought him back into the spotlight. And because of that, Tony Christie then again became famous here and started singing all of his old songs. But unfortunately for him, like a lot of singers, he went a step further and he recorded a new album. But of course, people didn't want to hear his new stuff. They wanted to hear his old stuff. So he started giving concerts around the UK. And of course, people were expecting him to sing Avenues and Alleyways and Is This the Way to Amarillo? Because the people who went to his concerts, of course, were were older. They were all kind of like mothers and grandmothers, and they went to hear his songs, and he had a completely different kind of style in his new album. So of course nobody liked it. So because of that, they started shouting at him and saying, "Come on, give me your old songs." And he was upset, I think. The same thing happened to me. I remember once I went to London's. Oh yeah, I think it was. Where was it now? I went. It was some musical concert. I don't remember where it was. It's the one in Brixton. Oh yes, the Brixton Academy. That's where it was. I went to see Hearts. Do you remember Hearts from the 1980s? I hear the ticking of the clock. Da 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 da. Anyway, I went there to see Heart, expecting them to sing their fabulous songs that I loved from the 80s, only to discover that they had a new album out they were pushing. I think it was called Jupiter Moon. Oh, I was disappointed. I was sitting at the back thinking, oh, please, I'm not going to buy your new album. I just want to hear your old stuff. But it was nice to see them, I suppose. So yeah, Tony Christie. So he is still around, Tony Christie. The last I heard of him, he was back in his native land of Yorkshire at a music festival in 2017. So I guess he's just enjoying his retirement now. I mean, he will be a year older than my parents would have been. So he's not young, but still has a wonderful voice, Tony Christie. And oh yeah, he's looking a bit tired in this picture. Oh, and that's 2015. Oh, he looks kind of like a Skype English teacher, He has grey hair, a kind of serious look in his eye. Yeah, well, anyway, his music's amazing. Well, at least it was. He was one of these people back in the 60s. We had many of those who looked kind of Latin. And of course, Spain and Italy were very popular countries for us as holiday destinations. So he had those typically Latin good looks, I think that's why people loved him. And he also had a lot of hair, which I see he still has, even though he's almost 80. Yeah, interesting how people retain their hairline. But anyway, yeah, that's Tony Christie. Interesting man. So if you get the chance today, do listen to Tony Christie, his older stuff. It's very good, especially Avenues and Alleyways. Is this the way to Amarillo? Which I guess in Spanish is amarillo. It means yellow. And he also did a song called "I Did What I Did for Maria." That's an interesting one. Yeah, that's where he kills someone to. What is it the song says in the words? Somebody must die for the death of my wife. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so again, he built himself up this kind of Latin style image. The name Maria, of course, being very popular in Latin countries. But I think, judging by the name Amarillo, is this the way to Amarillo? That's in Texas, isn't it? So it was probably some kind of Latino story from Texas. I don't know, but very nice song. Very nice song. Oh, apparently he did the Queen of the Mardi Gras as well. Interesting song. Um, yeah, I like Tony Christie. He's one of these kind of singers that makes you feel good. If you're driving or if you're doing something, you would get it done a bit quicker listening to Tony Christie. And his lyrics are very clear. So if you want to use his music to learn English, I can recommend that. Although, of course, I don't recommend killing people. So this is Sunday. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm going to do some gardening. I'm going to plant some angel wings. Angel wings are lovely plants. These are the kind of plants that are white, and they grow in a way that their leaves look like the wings of angels. Lovely thing to have in your garden. I mean, I don't talk to my neighbors, but every time they walk past, I always get a comment, "Oh, I love your plants. What are they?" I thought they were just being typically British and insincere, but they've said it a few times now, which probably means that they really mean it. So if you are thinking of planting something over the summer, plant some angel's wings because they come back every year, as long as it's not too cold in the winter for them. And yeah, they're beautiful things, really, and they grow quite high, so they're quite distinctive, angel's wings. So if you are looking for some gardening tips, yeah, the plant angel wings or angel's wings, they're beautiful. Yeah. Oh, there's that woman walking her dog again. I'm looking out the window. She always comments on my angel wings as she walks past. Um, yeah. Well, she looks harmless enough, doesn't she? Anyway, that's it from me. So I hope you enjoy your day, and let's talk again soon. See you. Bye.